I'm showing you how I turn this image into a picture of me as Spider-Man fighting an elemental from Far From Home. Now, I am the Amazing Spider-Man, so, it's kind of awkward, but hey, we're talking about the edit, not what Spider-Man suit is where. The reason why I use two pictures of me is so I can sort out the shadows a little bit later on, and that'll be one of the next things that I do, is I take the first image and just place that's the basic Spider-Man, that is the one that's in the picture basically. And then I take the other Spider-Man and place that beneath the main Spider-Man, and I edit it so it looks like it is just part of the normal suit and you can't really tell that it exists. And then I edit the lower Spider-Man, which is only the half torso, to have a shadow. The reason I did this is so the entire body doesn't have a shadow. I know it would probably make a bit more sense to have a full shadow, but the way that the shadows work in this aren't ideal, so it would look a little bit off, which is why I only want the lower half to have a shadow, and I think that works well. If I wanted to go really in-depth, I could do each body part as its own separate shadow, but hey, we ignore that. And you can also probably tell that there is a bit of an issue with the hands and the shadows, and that does get corrected a little bit later on. I am still sorting out the final bits, but all I'm doing at the moment is making sure that the top Spider-Man, the Spider-Man that's going to be seen, is how I want it to be. I'm editing it to look good. And the next thing that I do after putting it into the right position is adding all the water effects, because, it's an elemental. I want it to have water effects like he does in Venice. And it was quite difficult to add these because it's hard to find ones that look consistent and look good, especially when I don't have the premium version and it doesn't let me use certain effects, which is a shame, but I can manage with the effects that it's given me. There's still quite a few that I can use. It's important to think about what layer everything's on, so I put one bit of water in front of Spider-Man and then another bit behind, just so I can have a bit more depth and a bit more of a variety. All I'm doing now is shrinking it to the size, cropping it so it suits the Spider-Man pose that I want it to, and I couldn't show you all the effects and the filters that I used. However, I do show you the final product after I've added all of the filters and all of the different lighting changes, and this is the final picture. I hope you like it, and yeah, that's all.